Peru, nestled in the heart of South America, played a complex role in the geopolitical landscape of the Cold War era. This article delves into Peru's experience during the Cold War, examining its commitment to neutrality, internal conflicts, and the broader geopolitical challenges that shaped the nation's trajectory amidst the superpower rivalry between the United States and the Soviet Union. Neutrality and Diplomatic Balancing Act. During the Cold War, Peru pursued a policy of neutrality, aiming to avoid taking sides in the ideological conflict between the superpowers. This stance was reflected in the government's foreign policy, with leaders like Fernando Belaúnde Terry and Juan Velasco Alvarado seeking to maintain Peru's sovereignty and independence. The commitment to neutrality allowed Peru to navigate global tensions and engage with both superpowers on its own terms. Internal strife and military rule. The Cold War intersected with Peru's internal dynamics, contributing to periods of political instability. In 1968, General Juan Velasco Alvarado seized power in a coup, establishing a military regime that pursued leftist policies. Velasco's government implemented agrarian reforms and nationalizations, reflecting broader trends in Latin America during the Cold War, where some nations sought alternatives to capitalist models. Geopolitical challenges and border conflicts. Peru faced significant geopolitical challenges during the Cold War, including territorial disputes with neighboring countries. The most notable conflict was the Peru-Ecuador border dispute, known as the Cenepa War, in 1995. The war reflected regional tensions influenced by broader geopolitical considerations, as both superpowers sought to exert influence in the Latin American region. U.S. relations and economic policies. While maintaining a stance of neutrality, Peru engaged with the United States, particularly in the economic sphere. U.S. economic aid and investment played a role in shaping Peru's economic policies during the Cold War. The U.S. sought to influence economic development and maintain stability in the region, aligning with its broader strategy in Latin America. Shining Path insurgency. The internal conflict in Peru during the Cold War was further exacerbated by the rise of the Shining Path insurgency. The Maoist guerrilla group, led by Abimael Guzman, sought to establish a communist state in Peru through armed struggle. The insurgency resulted in a protracted and brutal conflict that lasted for over a decade, leading to widespread human rights abuses and a complex socio-political landscape. Transition to democracy. As the Cold War drew to a close in the late 20th century, Peru underwent a transition to democracy. The end of military rule and the return to civilian government marked a shift in Peru's political landscape. The country faced the challenges of post-Cold War dynamics, including economic reforms and efforts to address the legacies of internal conflicts. Conclusion. Peru's experience during the Cold War was characterized by a commitment to neutrality, internal conflicts, and geopolitical challenges that left a lasting impact on the nation. The intersection of global ideological tensions with internal dynamics, such as military rule and insurgencies, shaped Peru's trajectory during this period. As the country transitioned into the post-Cold War era, the legacies of this turbulent period continued to influence its political, economic, and social landscape.